Yes, let's take a look at your Metagonimus yokogawai. Yes, your Metagonimus yokogawai was first discovered by Katsurada in 1911 in an infected human. Again, so please note that the infections of Metagonimus yokogawai is found most often in, yes, in the east. Okay, and yes, this one, your Metagonymous Yokogawai clinically resembles that of Heterophyes. Yes, it is small also. Okay? Your Metagonymous Yokogawai again, this one is first discovered by Katsurada in 1911. And yes, the common name is Yokogawai's fluke. And this is the first intermediate host, sorry, is are actually your snails. Okay, your snails of your genus Semisulcopsira, Thiara, and Hua. Okay, and yes, the second intermediate host, you have freshwater salmonoid fishes. Okay, and so freshwater salmonoid fishes. Also, grass carp can be the second intermediate host for Metagonimus yokogawai. Okay, as for the definitive host, you have humans. Others, you have fish-eating mammals like cats and dogs, and birds. Accordingly, mode of transmission still ingestion of the second intermediate host containing the metacercaria, and the infective stage is the metacercaria. Okay, for your Metagonimus yokogawai. Let's take a look at the uh, developmental stages of your Metagonimus yokogawai. The egg, okay, and so is small, brownish yellow, and operculated with a small or minimal opercular shoulders. Please note still that the ova of your Metagonimus yokogawai is indistinguishable from the eggs of Heterophyes. Okay, the Metagonimus yokogawai ova measures 26 to 28 micrometers by 15 to 17 micrometers. Yes, it is small. Okay, and as for the adult is the cuticle of the adult is covered with small scale-like spines, and the ventral sucker is large and is situated at the right side of the midline, and it measures 1 to 2.5 millimeters by 0.4 to 0.8 millimeters. Still, this one is larger than Metagonimus yokogawai. Please note again that the adult of your Metagonimus yokogawai resemble Heterophyes, but then this one is larger. Okay, and so an important distinctive feature or characteristic feature also of your Metagonimus yokogawai is the position of the ventral sucker. The ventral sucker or your genitoacetabulum, which is to the side of the midline and closely associated with the genital pore. Again, the ventral sucker is large and is situated at the right side of the midline. Okay, and yes, the genital pore is attached to the outer rim of the ventral sucker. Okay, and so for your Metagonimus yokogawai adult. Okay, and yes, they reside, of course, in the small intestine. Okay, and so this one is an adult of your Metagonimus yokogawai. Yes, somewhat it resembles your adult heterophyes. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, let's take a look at the life cycle of your Metagonimus yokogawai. Okay, yes, the adults reside in the small intestine, and the adults release or lays fully embryonated eggs to the stool, and these fully embryonated eggs are ingested by the snail. Okay, and so as the first intermediate host, the snails of genus Semisulcospira are the most frequent accordingly. Okay, and so other what they call this other genus, you have Fiara and Hua accordingly. And yes, inside the snail, sorry, inside the snail, the miracidium will penetrate the snail's intestines, and in that, the miracidium will develop into sporocyst, then to rhidia, then to cercaria. Okay, and yes, the cercaria are released from the snail, and the cercaria will insist under the scales of the flesh or of the freshwater fish or in the tissues. Okay, and yes, the human infection is caused by ingestion of uncooked or pickled fish. Okay, and so again, the cercaria insists as metacercaria in the tissues of suitable fresh or brackish water fish. The second intermediate host, of course, are fresh or brackish water fish. Become infected by ingesting undercooked or salted fish or pickled fish containing the metacercaria. And the metacercaria exist in the intestines and then attached to the mucosa of the small intestines. Okay, and so that is for the life cycle of Metagonimus yokogawai. Okay, and so still this one, adults reside in the small intestine. They pass embryonated eggs, and then the eggs are ingested by snails, and then inside the snail you have the merocidium is released, then it will develop into sporocyst, into rhidia, then to cercaria. Cercaria is released, okay, and yes, it will penetrate your freshwater or brackish fish or freshwater fish. And yes, it will develop, exist into metacercaria. The host becomes infected by ingesting uncooked for infected freshwater fish. Okay, and yes, the cycle continues. As for the pathology and symptoms, again, so yes, diarrhea and colicky abdominal pain accordingly is seen. And but then please note that pathologic changes are similar to those produced by heterophyes. And the pathology and symptoms also depend largely on the worm burden of the host. Please note that eggs may infiltrate the intestinal capillaries and lymphatics still because this one is small. Your Metagonimus yokogawai egg are small. Okay, and so uh, they can infiltrate into the intestinal capillaries and lymphatics and be carried to the myocardium, to the brain and spinal cord and other tissues where emboli or granulomatous reactions may occur. Okay, and so for your Metagonimus yokogawai infection, again, they are capable, the ova of your Metagonimus yokogawai can migrate to extraintestinal sites causing emboli or granulomatous reactions. Okay, and so they can be carried to the myocardium, to the brain, to the spinal cord, and other tissues. Okay, as for the laboratory diagnosis, fecalysis still, or yes, diagnosis is based on the recovery of eggs in the feces. Okay, and so yes, the eggs of your Metagonimus yokogawai are indistinguishable from heterophyes, or they are similar in shape and size to those heterophyes and Clonorchis sinensis. That is why diagnosis, okay, and so must be supported by the clinical findings, patient history, and recovery of adult worms after therapy or autopsy. Still, FECT, formalin ether acetate sedimentation concentration technique is recommended for egg recovery because again, zinc flotation or the operculated eggs cannot float in flotation concentration method because they are heavy. Okay? And the treatment still is praziquantel. Treatment is a praziquantel, and prevention and control, thorough cooking of fish. Okay, and so because human infection is caused by cooking of eating or ingestion of undercooked or raw uh, infected fish, or eating a salted fish, or eating pickled fish accordingly. And yes, still sanitary waste disposal. Sanitary waste disposal as the prevention and control and education still. Okay, and so for your Metagonimus yokogawai prevention. Okay, yes. Okay, and so an image, you have here an image that outlines the sizes of adult intestinal trematodes. Okay, yes. Okay, and so comparing the sizes of your adult intestinal trematodes, you have here, this one is your Fasciolopsis busci. It is the largest among your intestinal trematodes. Okay, and so for your Fasciolopsis busci. For your B here, this one is your Echinostomi lucanum. It is small, comparing it with the size of your Fasciolopsis busci. You have your Heterophyes, and then your Metagonimus yukigawai, and then you have your Gastrodiscoides hominis. We'll not, yes, we'll not be taking a look at your Gastrodiscoides hominis anymore. Okay, and so for the comparing the sizes of your adult intestinal trematodes. Okay, here is an image comparing the size of your adult liver, size and shape of your adult liver and lung trematodes. Okay, and so yes, you have here your fasciola hepatica. This one is for your fasciola hepatica. You have your Paragonimus wistermani. Paragonimus wistermani. You have a Clonorchis sinensis. And then Opistorchis filineus for this one. Okay, and so yes, Fasciola hepatica is larger than your Paragonimus wistermani. Okay, and so for this one, your Clonorchis and Opistorchis, they are somewhat the same in shape and size. Okay. Okay, as for the process of managing your trematode infection, okay, and so you have here for your liver flukes, your intestinal fluke, and your lung fluke. Under your liver flukes, you have your fasciola, and your Clonorchis and Opistorchis. Under your fasciola, you have fever, abdominal pain, general, of course, a fever, abdominal pain, hepatomegaly, and eosinophilia. Since they infect the liver, then probably enlargement of the liver is sin. Okay, under Clonorchis sinensis and Opistorchis, you have fever, abdominal pain, and jaundice. Okay, and so these are general manifestations. And intestinal flow, flux, you have fasciolopsis, you have abdominal pain, diarrhea, and edema. And for your lung fluke, you have the Paragonimus. It causes cough, hemoptysis, chest pain, and epilepsy. Okay, still, since it is a process of the managing your trematode infection, you check the history if a positive. Okay, and so you check for eggs in the stool or sputum if positive. The diagnosis is confirmed, and then of course you do the treatment. Okay, and so for your process of managing your trematode infection, yes, that's it for your Metagonimus yokugawai. And yes, this has been Gael saying, tara, akyat tayo. Tara.